before we begin, I want to make a quick plug for a community post I posted on my community tab. You can just go to my home channel, click the channel, and it's in the community section. So basically, right there I made a post asking for you guys to make a team for me because I want to actually try out a viewer both teams. So you could put in whatever team you want. I don't really care. Just make sure it's not banned. Like there's no Ubers or banned strategies like Arena Trap, and I'll be sure to use it. Now let's get back to the actual video. So anyways, here I decided to lead with Beedrill, and he led with his Lucario. So I mean, this is somewhere where I could just stay in and go for a protect, although at the same time I don't want to give him the opportunity to set up a sword stance, because you know I can't really touch this Lucario unless I had Drill Run, which I don't have because it's not available in this game. However, the Lucario could actually do some pretty bad damage to me with a Meteor Mash or even a Bullet Punch. He could probably one-shot me for that. So I figured it's probably a good time to bring in the Gliscor, because Gliscor has excellent defenses. Now the only problem is I did forget to switch out Sky Uppercut here for Roost, which I will do later, although for this battle we're gonna have to cope with what we have. So anyways, he goes for an Earthquake. Surprisingly, he stays in. I would definitely switch out if I were him. He does survive. I'm not sure if that's a focus dash or if that's just actually a clutch. I'm not sure, but I don't care. But anyways, somehow his ground type attack hits me even though I'm a flying type. I'm not sure how that happens, but you know, it does happen randomly sometimes, but it is what it is. So anyways, here he goes for his Dynamax. I don't really think that was the smartest play, because that was not going to save him from dying to the Facade right here. So now he's going to have to switch in something else. So anyways, I decided to bring in Gliscor on this team because before I had hippowdon, although I really think that Gliscor might actually be a better Pokemon to use because I like its typing. It can offer physical bulk as well as special bulk. What am I saying? And I mean, it has a lot of accessibility. Like you could change his moveset to be suited for pivoting with U-turn. You could make it a setup sweeper like mine's. You could have utility like defog. You could do a lot with Gliscor, and it has an excellent type combination. So that's what I decided to do. So anyways, he went to Garchomp here, and I decided to go into Tangrowth. It's true that Gliscor could stay in, although I didn't really see the need to do that when I have Tangrowth here, which is both to check Garchomp. Although, you know, with Mega Garchomp, it's a bit different because sometimes they'll be running Fire Blast, which can actually break through my Tangrowth. Although this guy clearly isn't running it, so that's not going to be a problem. So anyways, I missed my first Sleep Powder. I have the worst luck with it these days. I don't even know why, but it is what it is. But I decided to just stay in and land it because I can regenerate all that HP throughout the battle, so I'm not too concerned about Tangrowth. Now I figured it's time to go into Tapu Fini and just fire off a Moonblast. If he stays in, he goes down. If he switches out, I don't really care. And he decides to stay in, so here he's gonna die to the Moonblast. It's going to be a nice one-shot, and Mega Garchomp is no longer going to be a problem for us. However, I did see earlier he had a Mewtwo, and he does in fact pull it out. So this is the big threat right here. I mean, if he had his Dynamax, that would have been even more scary. However, he doesn't, so we are lucky. So anyways, I think about going into Heatran here, because Heatran actually would have been a good play, although he could have Aura Sphere. So I figured I may as well, you know, bring him low real quick so that, you know, I could just finish him off with one of my other Pokemon. So he goes for a Shadow Ball. Really doesn't do any damage. I missed the Nature's Madness, which is too bad, although it is what it is. I can't do too much about that. And I'm going to fire off another Nature's Madness because it's going to guarantee take him down to pretty low HP. So right there, he goes for a Side Strike. I don't know why it took him that long to do it, but, you know, he figured out that's probably going to do a lot more damage than the Shadow Ball. So that's going to give me the perfect chance to bring in one of my Steel types that's going to resist his Psychic type attacks. And I figured that Magnezone would be the great, or a good Pokemon for that. So he fires that off. Now the only thing you have to be worried about is Flamethrower or Aura Sphere. Most of the time they're going to run Aura Sphere, although this guy is running Flamethrower on his. Some of them can even run Earthquake if they're physical, although that's not as common as the special Mewtwo. So anyways, unfortunately my Magnezone goes down. I probably shouldn't have just gone into Heatran, but it is what it is. I let Magnezone die right there, but it's not a problem. Although I think I probably do want to switch out its item to a Choice Scar so that I can actually outspeed, because speed really is its biggest weakness. So if I could get that fixed, then Magnezone can be a lot more capable. So anyways, here he goes for another flamethrower. I'm of course gonna go for the protect because I know I'm not gonna outspeed him in the first turn. With the Pokemon Bricks Bronze Gen 6 mechanics where you don't use your Mega Evolution speed on the first turn, and after that I could just finish him off with a U-turn. It was tempting to go for a Poison Jab, and that probably would have taken out the Mewtwo, although I didn't want to really take that risk, but I could just fire off a U-turn and get the guaranteed kill, and then bring something in like my Heatran, which is not going to be very easy for him to check now that he doesn't have his Garchomp available. So anyways, here he goes into Thundurus, and I figured that this would actually be a glorious opportunity to pull out the Gliscor, because Gliscor is going to basically shut down everything this guy wants to do. He can't paralyze it, he can't use its electric type attacks, he can't wall switch. The only thing he can do is his flying type attacks, and that's not going to be a big issue. And I'm just going to hit him right with the Facade, which is going to do huge damage. I'm actually surprised I've never seen anybody run Facade on Gliscor. I would definitely recommend it. I saw it on the Smogon moveset, and it makes perfect sense because you're going to be poisoned anyways thanks to the Toxic Orb, so you may as well take advantage of that fully. So anyways, he goes for a Fly. I basically regenerate half of that the next turn, and the next time he goes for Fly, I'm just going to regenerate it again. It just comes to show how crazy good Gliscor can actually be. So anyways, now he goes into Haunter for whatever unknown reason that's able to hit. I'm not sure what it is with immunities in this game, because ground type attacks are hitting flying types, normal type attacks are hitting ghost types. That's a bug that definitely needs to be fixed, but it is what it is. So anyways, he goes into Hoopa here. I know that this thing is not going to take an Earthquake with its 65, I think base 65 defenses, so that's no longer going to be our problem. And now, unfortunately for this man, all he has remaining is going to be his Thundurus, which is already at low HP and is going to get outsped by Gliscor. This right here was a really nice late game sweep and an excellent debut for Gliscor. I did use it a couple times in the past, but that was a utility set. But this sweeping set is actually crazy good. So that right there is GG.